Welcome, Throwback Tuesday. Yeah. Let's talk about another OG great film, The Searchers. John Wayne. I know. June, I believe, is the month of his birth. It's the anniversary of True Grit. Okay, it's the anniversary of his death. June 11th, 1979. We lost John Wayne. May was his birth month, and then it's the anniversary of True Grit. He's been on my mind. I've enjoyed revisiting some westerns and all that. And I thought, well, let me go to the goat. Let me go watch The Searchers again. And what I remember taking in from this movie is how dark it got. Like it's sort of like I have in my head that I don't care for as much of the Wayne and Ford films as I do some of the Eastwood stuff because of the dark and the edginess. But this is one of those exceptions. This is one of the films that kind of brings in that dark edginess where we actually get death and chaos and violence and stuff like that. And we also get a John Wayne performance that is really, really multifaceted, like a lot of layers to his Ethan character. It's fantastic. It's just a great film. Execution is amazing. Let me run through some of the different elements of the film really quickly, and then we'll kind of show the trailer, throw some footage and that kind of thing. So, first off, just a great cast as always. All these films are just so well done. The premise is actually very simple. Like you have Ethan who's coming home. He fought in the Civil War. He'd been in the Franco-Mexican War. I think it was the second Franco-Mexican War, right? He has a lot of gold, and he's seeing some family members, and then of course there's rumors of conflict over like theft of a cattle or something like that. But it's basically just I don't understand why this is an idea that the Comanche would do. Like this is I don't think I've ever seen evidence that this is what Comanche would do. I thought they would just anyway, but they faked that to lure the people away so that they could attack the family, and they murder the husband, the wife, and the son, and they kidnap the two girls. And then there's a brief funeral scene before they basically head out and try to have this big rescue mission, which turns awful. And you ultimately find out that Ethan finds the one girl. She's been brutally murdered, and presumably she's been violated as well. But that's not really discussed. But that's kind of the essence that you get from this era and all of that. And then you also have the fact that the hothead sibling runs into action. He gets himself killed as well. And it becomes like searchers. It's the name, right? And you have like this. The one biggest criticism I have is sometimes the time jumps are not well communicated. Like the first year, it's been a year they've been searching before they return back. Then there's a letter and there's some information that they get, and like, okay, back out on the road, and they're going for like 5 years. And you do have a scene with oh geez, what is her name? Laurie's character, Vera Miles. Sorry, Vera Miles reading this letter, and it kind of is. It's sort of like piecing everything together for them to know, look, what's actually been happening. And then they're on this trail trying to find this Comanche tribe that has abducted the younger daughter, who was like 8 or 9. Now she'd be like 14. It's all done very, very well. I will say that you see like this real interesting violence with when Ethan sees her, and you feel like he's going to kill her, and you're like, I don't understand why. And it's sort of explained in the movie, but you kind of get, he can't even handle the thought that she would live like this. He'd rather just see her gone. That creates some conflict before we get to the final act. And of the final act, again, I love everything about this movie, except there's a couple of shots in the final act where they're doing horse chasing scenes. And what they do is they film it. And then when they show it to us, they speed it up a little bit, and you can tell it's been modified. And I wish they hadn't done that. I really don't. And I will say that you have certain stunts that they were able to do back then. So there's like, they shoot and you cut, and the way the guy is being, I'll say pulled, but the way he's falling off the horse, they're like exactly the same move. It's the exact same stunt work. So if there's criticism, when you take something from being like a 10, why is it down to a 9? That's what you're looking at. Those type of nitpicky things. But this is definitely among not only the best films of all time, but definitely top tier in westerns. Definitely. I don't. Yeah, I like this more. I think I like this a lot more than Rio Bravo, even though I like Rio Bravo. Um, so yeah, this was Searchers is a great film. It's a lot of fun. I was able to actually I actually saw this on Max and just flipped it on. I didn't even have to worry about trying to find my physical discs because I have like a John Wayne collection of stuff. I have one thing that has like just 10 of his random, not very good movies. I couldn't even tell you what some of them are off the top of my head, but they're like just like a box set for like $5 or something I found somewhere. It's just like 10 John Wayne movies. And they're just like the obscure ones that you just kind of nobody talks about. Um, so yeah, but yeah, this is out there even streaming for free. So let's look at some of the footage real quick. Again, all the beautiful landscapes filmed on various locations all over the Southwest, different areas. Um, he looks great. The cast looks great. Some of the action's awesome. This is that scene at the end of the movie. See how the speed is wrong? I didn't know they showed this in.
Hold the searchers.
Yeah, it's done very, very well. Like it a lot. And again, the dated look of the Indians looks good. There's like snow shots, which is incredible. Studio with snow. But again, look at how John Ford uses the stuff in the foreground to keep things interesting, right? Keep things interesting. Yeah, John Wayne's just great. He's just got a lot of great moments. All these scenes with these different where they frame it inside a cave instead of shooting at different angles and things like that. I think it's great. It's just really done well. He's very, very good. He's just very, very good. This movie really showcases a lot more range than people will remember with his performance. Yeah, some of this stuff with the kid and the Confederacy and the cavalry stuff, I just like, yeah, I'm like meh on. Like it's not bad. It's just like my least interesting stuff. But this shot where Martin's trying to protect her, you're not quite sure you knew exactly what was going to happen and why. Um, I will say there's a really funny sequence with Martin where he's basically trying to trade a hat. He doesn't realize that he's traded the hat to this Indian, and he's getting the woman, and he's basically got a wife. And that sequence is actually played well for laughs. But in some ways, I'm like, this is a very interesting concept that you would accidentally get yourself into these situations. What's her name? Her name is Wild Goose Flying in the Night, a night sky. And he keeps talking about look. But so she thinks that he's trying to call her look. So I like that. I love the fact that there's humor, but not like crazy humor. We saw the same thing with Rio Bravo, right? Because we have Mose, who's based on a real character by a real person. Which plays for some levity, at least breaking some of the tension, which is what they're going for, right? Not like comedy, but just let's keep some of the tension off. So I love the trailers because you end up with some really fun graphics and stuff that we no longer do. What is this part about the Canada thing? They trying to sell you that they filmed it in Canada? Because I did not think they filmed it in Canada. Locations. Sorry, I'm looking because I didn't think they filmed in Canada. I'd be shocked. That would be, huh? Like Mitchell-Mesa, California. Yeah, they're definitely the different areas there. But so, I don't see anything about Canada. What are you talking about? Oh, there we go. They did film that shot in Alberta. Huh. Okay, cool. I stand corrected. That was all filmed in Alberta. All right. Never mind. I'm sorry. Very cool. I, for some reason, thought they filmed in Oregon. I don't know why I thought that, but so yeah, Natalie Wood. Well, I wish there was more Natalie Wood, but evidently she's so young. She's like 14, I think, and they like had to pick her up from school. Like some of the days of filming, like John Wayne or John Ford would go back. Can you imagine that? Being a kid in the school and John Wayne pulls up, except one of your students. She's not gonna have you for homecoming, but you'd be trying. So a lot of fun. Good film. Lots of fun. Classic. Among the best. Among the best. So the Searchers. I don't know. Are you into this? What are you thinking, guys? Give me your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you guys. Had a great time watching it. That's for sure. All right. Take care. I'm Pops.